Welcome to Shareholders of a Better World, brought to you by TBLI Group. At TBLI Group, we have an established reputation as an organization dedicated to building the ecosystem of global sustainability and impact investing. We're doing this through educating, advising, and facilitating transactions in global sustainability and impact business, as well as capital solutions for private companies, family offices, and fund groups. For nearly 25 years, TBLI Group has created a vertically integrated ecosystem of education to action through TBLI conferences and TBLI consulting. More about our company can be found at tbligroup.com. This webinar is brought to you by TBLI Foundation, which hosts educational learning experiences dedicated to a better planet. Through the foundation, we build sustainable communities by sharing the people and the experiences making a difference to so many of our lives around the world. Our weekly podcasts bring impact thought leaders that are doing and not only chatting. Now let me introduce my guest today. Good afternoon from our studio, actually on the road in Vienna. At a beautiful palace near the Sissi Museum. It's a little bit different than normally. So I want to thank you all. Just before I introduce Pati, just some housekeeping explanation. If you have a question, type it in the lower right-hand corner. If you want to clap or laugh or anything or say something brilliant, could you mute your mic, Pati, please? Just press the emojis at the bottom. And if you need to send a private message, just move your mouse over the person's name and it will pop up. So before I introduce our guest today, Pati, who's a very dear old friend, she asked me to show a short introductory video. So let me just pull that up and do that. Okay, here we go. All right. So here we go.
Déjate sorprender por un momento con la ingeniería de la naturaleza y su capacidad de regeneración. La infraestructura tejida en los servicios de los bosques que capturan y almacenan carbono en sus troncos, frondas, raíces. Pon atención a esta imagen. Lo que acabas de ver es un bosque de espina. Si te hace familiar. Somos parte de la naturaleza entretejidos en la biodiversidad. Recupera tu identidad. Así, los propietarios de áreas con alta biodiversidad se convierten en los custodios de los bosques, incrementando sus servicios de captura de carbono, agua y biodiversidad. Entra a Planeta Carbono Neutral, calcula tu huella y compensa. Cuidémosla como a nuestra madre. La vida depende de ella. Reduce tu huella.
Thank you for that. For those of you who are not familiar with Pati, Pati was a music teacher at the American School. Sorry about that. And she stopped that work and focused exclusively 25 years restoring nature and also creating her own model for measuring and capturing carbon, and gets a check every month from the Mexican government for her very groundbreaking protocol. Pati, thank you so much for doing this, and welcome to TBLI Talk. Do you want me to pull up your presentation, or do you want to say a few words to your fans?
I would like to say hello to everyone. So thank you for the introduction. A pleasure to be with all of you and have the opportunity to share the Sierra Gorda experience. Yeah. Sierra Gorda has been qualified as the most participatory biosphere reserve in the world. We work in a territory of 1 million acres, 638 communities, and the landowners They are all scattered all around the reserve in communities, very far communities, very rural area, and they own the natural capital. They own biodiversity. How did you like the greens that you saw in the past video? It is incredible, the wealth that we take care here in Sierra Gorda. Those values doesn't belong to us. Those values are those sacred atmospheres in the forest. All what is under the forest is so divine. It's so well woven in a tapestry that goes much more beyond than us. And here we are, making such a huge and suffering damage to our planet that it's alive. It's so easy to be sure that it's alive. It sustains us. Yeah, millions of ways of beings. So, what we are trying to do in Sierra Gorda is to preserve this area, operating a unique model of co-participatory management of a conservation area. We are the last well-preserved area in Mexico, in central Mexico. We are a green jewel that is regenerating thanks for the management that is happening within. We have gone through their communities for 35 years. Yeah, it is our anniversary. 35 years in this journey that began 40 years ago. I used to be a urban lady, the violin, the music, the accordion, it was my passion. I grew up very urban in Querétaro City, a very conservative city in Mexico, in central Mexico. I was one of them, of that society, the modern society. When I was 30 with my husband, we decided to burn our bridges and to look for new values and to move our way of living to a simpler way of life. So 40 years ago, it began this learning process, this journey of understanding what it really worth in life. And I may tell you that not everything that shines is gold. That's how we say it here in Mexico. Not everything that shines is gold. The really valuable is much more beyond than us. I am a carbon seller. My God. So basic. Being so many other values women in the forest, in any other ecosystem. So well done. Because nature gives herself. It generates in beautiness. My God. It's an incredible energy, regenerating energy to heal herself. It's incredible, the possibility that our society has now. You know, among so much darkness ongoing, there is a hope if we take care of nature, a big hope for a better survival, because we have right in our noses the global warming effects. So, in what we have done in Sierra Gorda, it's a unique approach of living with the communities, 100,000 inhabitants. Then it's better if all of them become ecologicals. Then going to the schools and getting to the public at every way. In the past 35 years, we have been doing environmental education as a very powerful machine within this Serrano society, because we have been driven by the radio, murals, parades, festivals, formal education at the schools. Now we are just about to begin with a trainer of trainings, and through the Tecnológico de Monterrey, that it's the best university in Mexico, we will be training hundreds, thousands of teachers pretty soon, we hope. We are ready to raise these local answers for climate change. We have to move to an unavoidable change that is already ongoing. So, with all this in mind, I got here when I was 30 and I was full of questions. And I am overwhelmed how the life has given me answers. I was full of forces when I was younger urban girl, but with no cause. And in my life, I found what is the most powerful incentive that I could have. Yeah, I have a cause that I may adore. I live face to face with Mother Nature in the forest, and I know her. I may smell her every morning. So much magic on the earth. I may listen the hawk, the jilgueros, yeah, the cuckoos in the evenings in such an atmosphere. And I may taste it from my shiny vegetables that are growing right out of my door. So let me share you that I'm very happy that I stopped being a modern lady. I found wealth. We had a good position in Querétaro City. Everything shines for us, my husband and me, very popular, very, very success people, couple. Yeah. But once in our life, we had a chance to give a huge switch and let our lives flow with different values. Then we moved to a remote community. We left everything in the city, and we lived for 5 years with no light, with no road. We had to carry heavy packages, and it was so funny. And we developed the love for recovering the strength. My little two boys, they were complaining at the beginning. At the end, they may carry a huge package and hike for hours. Then we recuperate those values, and that's why we moved to the mountains, to recuperate a good sense of life, a healthy life, looking for natural ways to be just fine. And we began at that adventure. Since then, it has been just a continuous learning that nowadays are crystallized a very live experience of sustainability from all those learnings from the beginning. Then I thought, God, I must share this treasure, my stove that save wood, my dry latrine, my vegetable garden that I was learning. Because when I came here, I got down from a high heel shoe and learned to hike here. Yeah. So that's how we began. And with my accordion in my shoulder, I began running in the local schools and raising attention to the environment, to the surrounding, working with the teachers, with the little ones, having fun so much, because that's my specialty. With an accordion, you may raise the joy. I know how to do it. And that's how the environmental education began in Sierra Gorda. Yeah. I think that we may start now.
Yo voy a manejar.
Okay. Are you ready, Laura? So we began going to the schools and having meetings with the parents and teaching them these eco technologies that we were already using and knowing the management and the good management that those eco technologies can have, and cleaning campaigns because garbage everywhere. Yeah.
¿Se ve en la pantalla?
Eh?
¿Se ve en la pantalla?
Yeah. I have the pantalla on it. Then Grupo Ecológico Sierra Gorda was born 35 years ago, and I'm not going to get in every, but Bosque Sustentable, Joya del Hielo, yeah, the four sisters of Grupo Ecológico together, a very strong interdisciplinary team that are developing all these community programs and projects. La que sigue, Laura. ¿O yo lo paso? Okay, the biosphere reserve in Sierra Gorda, it's the 33% of the Querétaro state. And we are the only biosphere reserve in Mexico that has been promoted from bottom up. Yeah, we began as an NGO, and we having the trust and the love of the communities, because Roberto had already taken trees to the communities, fencing, talking with the landowners, getting little plots for the reforestation. So with all that work done, 10 years later, we look in purpose to the decree, the federal decree as a biosphere reserve. And we got it in the 97, and since then, it has been a co-management among the Federal Protected Areas Commission and the local civil society. When we got the decree, I was appointed as the federal director, and I had the pleasure to be the environmental sheriff from the region. Good times, because we had a lot of struggle defending the territory. Yeah, it was a very hard beginning to let the governor know that he has to ask for permission to build a dam onto the highway or the electricity power line. Then it was defending body against body. Yeah, I am all the team, because we are a very strong team. We are a strong mind together, very committed with the mother, like I see. And that's my life, the journey. Yeah, from the 87 up today, we have gotten more than 42 international awards. Yeah, all our actions or our lines of action have been awarded, recognized, and we have a very wide networking with national and international strategic partners. Yeah. And there we are. Those are our beneficiaries, our local partners, healthy food production. We train everyone at every level, from the beneficiaries up to the Mr. Governor, because nobody has an idea of what carbon mean or what regenerating landscapes terms. Or then my life is a continuous propedeutico for every level. And there we are with diversification, community-based, community environmental education, going through the goals of Millennium Goals as very tangential, regenerative soil management, conservation, water management, organizations, institutions, young leaders, groups, solid waste management. So we are doing everything you think you may do in your neighborhood. And my neighborhood, it's a full biosphere reserve and much more beyond. Then we are always organizing small activities. Yeah, thousands of small activities at every level. Yeah. Now we had to stop a little all that action, that synergy, because COVID really stopped us. Yeah, and the communities got disgregated, and we are on the way to putting them together. We hope everything could be better and recover that enthusiasm and that synergy we always have had. But we, in the meantime, we became very virtual, and we have developed um virtual tools, with Tecnológico de Monterrey, and it is nowadays one of our most ambitious projects now to let it run at national level. We are just about to begin with the first group of this new edition, but it will raise a huge wave of love and local participation from bottom up. And that's what we do, taking care of the old forest and the life that are within. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's marvelous. You will see the wildlife we have here in Sierra Gorda. But we are still a refugee for those precious species. And Sierra Gorda, it has in the same reserve Nearctical and tropical influences. Then we have 14 different types of vegetation in the same area. And now we are having more and more influence and work beyond our borders in the biosphere reserve bioregion, not just in Querétaro, but going to the neighboring states. That's a regenerative energy that surrounds us. And we are in the front line. Yeah, they are just finishing a wildfire, a horrible, and so far, so deep slopes, the karsting condition of our mountains, just peaks and holes. There is not a real floor on it, So very hard to fight fires, but we have a very committed firemen. I admire them, send them my love. And we have bought a network of private reserves. Yeah, we have a good amount of land, of forest that has been protected since 10, 15, 20 or more years. And you may see what it happens when you exclude the activity, the human activity, the cattle, the livestock under the forest, making so much damage. Yeah, all the green you see in the floor, it wouldn't be there. It were livestock eating, grazing under the forest. Then what we have done is to take the cattle out and let the nature regenerate itself. It is a learning of a long part of our lives. For 25 years, our main project was planting trees. And we planted 6 million trees. God. And continuous effort every year because they are so scattered and in small plots of land, little patches everywhere. And in the year 2014, the bark beetle attack finished with a half of them. Yeah, beautiful, huge trees ready for harvest. They were sick. In 3 months, they were over. And we lost more than the half of them. Ooh. Just doing very dummy things that the humans can do. Very long learning curves. Yeah, where I did what the technicians told me to do, that's what they do. But nothing to do with natural regenerations. Monocultives. The bark beetle came up, finished with all of them. Monocultives, fine. Nothing to do with a natural regeneration. 16 different types of trees on the same hectare. That's wealth. That's wealth. And we have developed a way to give economic value to those services. You may see the local partners. There's such an aristocracy among the Serrano society. Yeah, they love Mother Nature. So then we launched our campaign, Planeta Carbono Neutral, that is the learning of all this process of being around the world, learning about how to ground ecosystem services to the local community's context and conditions, so far from the stock exchange, so far from the business world, yeah, completely out of place. I have been for more than 20 years in the very top front of ecosystem services, learning, trying, traveling, belonging to wonderful organizations that make us grow, like Forest Trends, no? And then came to my place and be so frustrated for the global protocols. God, really, you may see being from the bottom, from the grassroots, that those protocols was not developed for the context of the forest owners. And in the south, Querétaro condition, and in Mexico, not just in Mexico, in the south, it's the context, the local context. It make it so difficult to ground such demanding protocol, so out of place monitoring requirements. And God, I'm a grassroots, and I may tell you that the protocol we have developed, it's more trustable because we measure from the soil up. Yeah, it's not a leader that flies above the forest. They may not measure all the regenerating that is going bottom up. So that's a speciality, how to grow bottom up from the natural capital that belongs to the local communities for this treasure of a sacred Mexican patrimony, how to get value just tropicalizing Kyoto on the ground. And that's what we have done for years. Yeah, and we have a Querétaro model ongoing six years ago, very successfully. I stopped playing with the carbon credits. My friends, my beneficiaries don't have the conditions to get those commitments. And it would be good that someone that understands both worlds would advise them. Be careful with the commitments you are signing. Yeah, more in this changing climate world. So from every impossible from Kyoto, we made a possibility, a local possibility. And we developed a local protocol with a very transparent methodology developed by the U.S. Forest Service and a well-recognized research institution in Mexico, Colpos. And they designed a monitoring system that was already validated externally by the 5 I.A.P guys that we developed. Yeah, Initiative for Carbon Action Transparency. We were chosen by the environmental PENUMA, UNDP, no,
UN Environment.
UN Environment, to develop this methodology, not for carbon credits, but for carbon certificates reduction of carbon footprint, and to show the transparency in the public politics, subnational climate public politics. That's what we have been pushing. When we saw that Kyoto was going to be impossible for the local landowners, we were the first project in the world that had the gold standard with a global certification. Yeah. But when the battle play claim to Sierra Gorda, I lost the half of those that I had certificate. So fragile. Yeah. Then we stopped and we started with the local protocol in our context. And with that learning, we developed these ICAT guides that has been validated externally. And it's a guide for the transparency for public politics, for climate action politics, for the regeneration of landscapes, forests and soils. Forests that are protected, that has been excluded, the livestock has been excluded of them and are in a regenerating process. And the cows with a well-planned grazing management, you may recover soils in such a wonderful way. Yeah, the cows well managed are a regeneration machinery. There are big ranches with thousands of hectares that you may see the effect of moving them. And in Sierra Gorda, we have been a practitioner of developing these carbon and water sinks because they are in a process of regeneration. So with Borland Trust, with CONAFOR and Querétaro government, we have a well portion of more or less 10,000 hectares that has been under these payments with this local protocol under the Querétaro model. And we have almost 10,000 hectares, yeah, under this local protocol. And we are keeping the monitoring process, local plots, where we measure every growing herb, tree that are growing, the biomass, and we keep going to those plots and measuring and sending the on-field reports, fresh information, something that the global protocol it's so demanding that it's very hard to get to this detail that we are getting here in plots. Yeah, very well established plots of monitoring the growing of the vegetable mass. That's how we have given economic value to the forest. That's how we have ground Kyoto Protocol in payments, yeah, for the local landowners. And I may tell you that our methodology, it really works. We are having wonderful regeneration. I may share with you that Sierra Gorda has now 20,000 more new forest of what we used to have 20 years ago. We are in a process of recuperating this patrimony, this big sinkhole that Sierra Gorda is in the heart of Mexico. A green jewel, a green jewel. So the other way that we have developed value for the scenic beauty, it was a challenge because they own the land, they own the beautiness, but they didn't have any facility. Yeah, and not idea how to offer good quality tourism services. then it has been another journey to build with them these capacities. This lady, it's an incredible treasure for Sierra Gorda. Yeah, she has all the Huasteca tradition, and we have an exquisite gastronomy. And you may go through our route, our flavor trail, and taste the fantastic flavors with all these ladies that's what they know how to do. That's their wealth they have, all this knowledge. Then put it value, giving them the infrastructure, the facilities, the training, yeah, building these capacities once more, bottom up. And we are a group, a very happy group of cooks. Yeah, I belong to them. And we have fun when we are together of sharing all this strengthening that we are pushing, mainly with women that are the cooks, that are the ones who keep the cabins, and we have the cabins, community cabins in the risk, in the river, everywhere, in the most beautiful forest, you may wander, and artisans and trail, and you may go and work with Doña Vale and have fun. They're so happy people, yeah, and they are expert in simply life. So that's what we do, having fun, having fun, and we are up to here pushing these climate action policies all over Mexico. We have been already in 10 different states and well accepted, and they want to replicate, yeah, our strategy and push for the climate actions from the teachers bottom up and recuperating the natural patrimony by regeneration of landscapes. So, giving value to every asset they have, aromatics, and all those all those values that are there with not economic, with no financial benefit for the owners. We will, excuse me, and weave networks and push in an agenda in every segment of action. I'm not the federal director anymore, but I have a powerful voice and uh, call of action. And then my life is a call of action at every level, every time, every second, every possibility we may activate. We are there for that. So we have used for this purpose new values. We are a society with new values. We love simply life. We love the values of peace, of sharing. We believe in love. And we have kept this movement with no budget, just donations from Providence, writing proposals, thousands of them, all the time, with lots of faith, and we have won through. And joy, because we practice and we conjugate give, and give. Because we discover here in Sierra that our best investment in life, it would be to finish this journey with the hands full of joy, of peace, and to take with us to the next life all the patrimony that we could save in this. I work without my passion because I am an ambitious woman. I want to generate wealth. I really believe in common good. Yeah, and let it flow. Let it flow. And we have practiced it in life, and it works. And you give, and you receive more and more. So, in this point in life, I'm full of forces, of learnings. We know how we can recuperate natural patrimony. We know how to activate local action. Yeah, it works. It works. You go to the community and invite them to this and that to build the harvesting rain harvest tank or to build the recycling center and they participate. They are ready to act. So there we are. We are a call of action. And at this time in life, I ask for abundance to make it happen. Wider and sooner. Beyond Sierra Gorda, we have the methodology, the protocols, the virtual center. We have developed all the tools. We have the wealth of our learnings. If I could tell you all the learning curves, and when I tell you these conclusions, it's because we have been in the labyrinth and going through. That's the way the bottom-up processes grow and extreme poverty processes grow. They have their own time, their own process. And then you develop such a patience. Then at this time in life, I may see that the spiritual tools that we choose to use in Sierra Gorda, they work. They work and give you a happier and healthier life. You are so wealthy when you are simple women like me. We may enjoy so much the colors of an apple hanging in the tree. So beautiful. The pinks with the greens. So well done. And go to my vegetable garden and see, God, you see this wisdom, this life growing in love. I'm going to have this shiny salad in my table. So not everything may be monetized. The best in life are the intangibles. Satisfaction. When I am in one of those meetings with my friends, the cooks or the communities, tourism providers, and we got fun and we like each other and take the microphone and say how now they have the whole family working in the restaurant and it's full. And they are so happy, they are so empowered that I may close my eyes and give thanks, deep thanks. I feel so good. So that type of satisfaction, that type of feeling, that type of incentive in life really makes you feel alive. No, you have a cause, you have a way, and I am a grandma, but I feel 15, and I'm ready to act and to do the best in my life. Is still for to come, because I would love to regreen from Baja California all the way down through Yucatan, and I'm ready to. And I ask the forces of the Providence and to you, if you may give me a hand, to make it happen. Yeah, it is a well try that we have in front. but we will make it happen. I know that those spiritual tools, they work. So I would love to share with you the beautiful secret life that Sierra Gorda has. And I invite you to come with me and see a video. My son is a wildlife photographer.
You're on mute. You need to unmute. You need to unmute your mic.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Thank you so much, Patty. We're going to share with all of those that signed in, and we're going to watch the replay. We'll send everybody the replay link and also information about that. How can this audience who's watching now and those that are watching the replay, how can they help you? And some of them might reach out to you how you can help them because they're trying to replicate what you're doing. First, let's focus on you. What can we do to help you?
I am very atrevida, but I have a proposal with me.
Okay, you have an ask.
Yeah, I think I sent it to you, Robert, because we could do so much if we could have the financing energies. Yeah, not just from the Providence to go every day. We want to keep level one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $800,000 to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
All the sustainability symphony of action within the Querétaro estate. Education, sanitation, all what I have described to you.
Mm-hmm.
With level two, we may go beyond our boundaries to the neighboring estates, paying ecosystem services to the forest owners
Mm-hmm.
and promoting local action, training teachers. So there is an invitation
Okay.
to
Send that.
practice.
Send that to me, and I'll include that in the outreach, and then I'll have a think about who would be the, apart from the people that signed up, who would be the most appropriate partner for you to expand and do more. When you were telling me that we never have any money to do what we're doing, you remind me of Bashevis Singer, a famous Yiddish writer, was still publishing a Yiddish newspaper when nobody was actually buying Yiddish newspapers. So someone asked him, "How are you able to keep things going? You have no money, nobody's reading you." And he said, "We have a very bad bookkeeper. We don't know that we're bankrupt, so we just keep going." I don't think that you're bankrupt, but I think that you get so much benefit from what nature provides to you. I mean, because your spirit is exactly the same as it was 15 years ago when you spoke at TBLI. That is not diminished in any way. I want to, because I have to do a moderator session here in Vienna, so I'm going to jump into the mixer, if that's okay with you, where we'll connect you for a 5-minute video chat. I just want to check, is there something else that you would like to share with the audience before we do that?
Yep, a song.
Okay. Oh, okay.
¿Quién dijo que todo está perdido? Yo vengo a entregar mi corazón. A wave of love for the planet.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me take a quick group selfie with everyone who's here. So just wave to the camera or wave to your camera, and it will take a photo of each of you. And then just stick around because I will go right into the mixer. I want to thank particularly Patti and Laura, who has the longest first name I've ever met, but she's been great in getting this together. And I want to thank our entire production crew for making this webinar possible. Sam, our producer, crypto genius and ramen critic, Ricky, my absolute better half with no filter, Xi Jinping, our head of transparency and integrity, Vladimir Putin, president of Mother Teresa School of Compassion, Elon Musk, our humility coach, and Ted Cruz, trainer of how to be a mensch. So thank you all very, very much. If anyone still wants to join this group selfie, just wave to the camera. And then after we do that, I will, actually, I will go into there right now.
Selfie?
Just stick around. Just stick around. We're going to go right into the mixer. Here we go. Here we go.
Good.